And I'm Divine.
And today we are going to be reviewing
Wonder
by R.J Palacio. But before we start, how are you guys doing this weekend?
As for us, we're doing great.
Yes, we are having fun and doing book reviews for you guys. And we hope you're having fun because soon will be the 6 weeks holiday. We hope you're doing well in school and getting ready for your new classes or you're going to high school. So as we said, we are going to be reviewing
Wonder
by R.J Palacio. R.J Palacio lives in New York City with her husband, 2 sons and 2 dogs. Her inspiration for this book was from an extraordinary child in an ice cream shop. So Divine, before we start, what do you think is going to happen in this book called Wonder? I'm going to read the quote so you guys know what that is. So then Divine can analyse this. You can't blend in when you were born to stand out. Now Divine, what do you think this quote means before we get into the cover? What do you think you can't blend in when you were born to stand out means?
So I think it means that when you're like different to every other person, you don't have to blend in. You just need to stand out.
That's quite a beautiful message there. So Divine, now you see this book, this cover. What do you think is going on in this cover? What do you think is going to happen? I know it's not that clear because it doesn't show anything. It just shows a face. But what do you think could happen? And also, if you use the quote, you can't blend in when you were born to stand out, what do you think will happen in this book?
I think what will happen in this book is that maybe there'll be a boy right there. A boy who was like who was different to every other person. Maybe because of his ear.
Well done for analysing, seeing the ear. Well done. So actually, let me read you the blurb, Divine, and all you guys the blurb, so you have a little idea of what it is about. The international bestseller. My name is August. I won't describe myself. What I look like, whatever you're thinking, it's probably worse. So, now, that's just it. My name is August. I won't describe what I look like. Whatever you're thinking, it's probably worse. That's it in the blurb. But let me just tell you about this book. So this book is about a boy called August, as you know, but people call him Augie. Augie has a thing called cranio-facial differences. This means his face is definitely not normal, but it's extraordinary, and it's full of wonders, which is good. His face is different to other people in so many different ways. His ears are kind of mismatched, and like little balls. He tries to cover himself with his hair. He says his face is all mushed up, but I think it's just extraordinary how he's amazing. He's still going to school and feeling happy. So this book really is about him going to school for the first time because he couldn't because of all his operations he's had for his face. He finally goes to school and finds out how life is really at school. And also, you can see in different people's points of view how they see Augie and how Augie thrives and tries his best to get through school without any weird misbehaviour or bad things that happen to him. He's always trying his best and acting normal like every time, every day. He's always having a smile on his face whenever he comes to school, like everything is normal. And that's what I really like about Augie. Before, he said in this book, he used to care about his differences. He used to care like, oh my gosh, my face is not ordinary. My face is weird, it's mismatched. But it actually isn't. One time he finds out that I'm different and I should show that I'm different. I should accept how different I am. I think this is what the quote means. I think you can't blend in when you are born to stand out means, yes, you are born not to be a follower or something, but to be a leader, to be a person who I feel like is supposed to show everyone what they're made of. Not someone who's blending in, like someone who follows someone, but someone who leads the crowd, someone who helps other people, like leadership, what a leader would do. That's what I think this quote means. And this is a very strong, powerful, very powerful quote. And this is one of the aspects that I like about this book. Because of the quote, because of how he goes and he tries his best and he's putting on a brave and smiling face every single day. I also like this book because it's different. It's different to other books. It's not like all the other books where it's about the person. They write it down, oh yeah, this is about the person. I really like this book because it shows different people. For example, it's not only in Augie's point of view, August, it's in a lot of other people's point of view, like his sister's point of view, his friend's point of view, and other point of views. So I really like how it's not only about Augie, this is him, this is his point of view. I like how they show everybody's different point of view of how they see Augie. That's what I really like about this book. Also, he does face a lot of challenges. Like he does face a lot of people being rude to him because of how he looks. A lot of stares wherever he goes. That's why he couldn't go to school. One time, there was this boy, his name was Julian. He is quite a rude boy, quite, let's say, a bully. He is not nice to Augie. He's always saying, oh, what's the deal with your face? Were you in a fire or something? He's kind of saying he doesn't like Augie just the way he looks. And I think this is the quote that comes in where you say, don't judge a book by its cover. Because that's what that boy Julian was doing. He was judging a book by its cover. He didn't really get to know Augie. He was like, hey, I don't like Augie. Augie didn't know why Julian was being rude to him. He just started being rude to him. But I love how Augie doesn't care about how he looks anymore. He used to be like, everywhere I go, everywhere I walk in, there are stairs. I just want to be ordinary. People won't look at me, all those things. But then he embraces his different, and he takes that with him through 5th grade, year 6, and he tries his best. He gets the honour roll, which is really good. He gets a really high roll in class, and he's doing well. The only thing about him is how people treat him differently. He doesn't want to be treated differently. He wants to be treated like everyone else. The only thing is some people can't do that. To be honest, Julian was picked to be his welcome buddy, like to help him feel welcome, happy, and everything like that. But he chose not to, which is quite weird, because apparently Julian is normally one of the nicest kids in school. So him turning his back and being rude to August is quite sad. I really like this book because of how powerful it is, how inspirational, motivational, everything it is. I, to be honest, have never read a book like this ever, because of how many different parts, how people see Augie, in a different point of view. I love that. I feel like this book has changed me, the way I see people, the way other people see him. It has really changed me, and I'm really glad I read this book. It was from school, and Wonder is normally the last book we always read in year 6, and I think it's because of this. Because we need to learn that if we weren't born to blend in, and we were born to stand out, we need to learn that we could be like Augie. Okay, maybe not in face differences, but maybe we have another difference to everyone else. Maybe I don't know, you're different to someone else, and we need to learn that we're different in our own special ways, and we're all wonders, especially all these people who think they're not. We are all wonders, and we need to learn that this book It really helps, it motivates, and as I said, it inspires. So I feel this book is one of, to be honest, really, actually, the best books, and I'm telling the truth, I have ever read. Also, I want to read the quotes some of the authors of other books have said about this book. Has the power to move hearts and change minds. Guardian. Guardian, that is exactly right. It moves hearts and it changes minds. Destined to go the way of the curious incident of the dog in the night time, and then some. The Times. I feel like it's destined to go the way of a curious incident. Like, very curious, very, not mysterious, but you want to know what happened. It's like, to be honest, you're stuck to the pages. You have to keep reading on and on. It wreaks emotional havoc. It does. A lot of times it does wreak emotional havoc. You feel sad for those characters. Independent. Yes, that's true. Tremendously uplifting and a novel of all too rare power. Sunday Express. This is true. It's a beautiful novel. Everything is divine.
Aww.
Incredibly charming, brutal, and brilliant. Observer. Yes, sometimes it could be brutal, and I'm not going to say why. But it is brilliant and incredibly charming, as Observer said. Also, I would like to say that I feel like this book will help other people. It's really cool. And I also like how, yes, it's really, I'm telling you, quite emotional. But also, it has all that comedy, all that, like, it's all like these comedy, emotional things. So it's like, it's not all comedy, but also when something emotional comes, it just makes you laugh in a way because something funny comes. It's not like, oh, it's wrecks emotional havoc all the way. You're sad because after this book, you're like, oh my gosh, this happened to Augie. It's really funny and the sense of humour is beautiful as well. Now, Divine will ask me some questions. Over to you, Divine.
Thank you, Blossom. My first question is, who would you recommend it for?
To be honest, I would recommend this for 10 and over or 11 and over. And you might be like, Blossom, you've never recommended something that high before. The reason why I'm recommending it for that high is because of the emotion. The emotion, I feel like it might be too strong for younger people, but it's the emotion. Also, the sense of humour sometimes can be a bit of not really understanding to younger children. Like maybe 9-year-olds, they might not understand that kind of sense of humour that they're trying to put out there. But when you're older, I feel like you will understand more of that sense of humour. Like if I read a joke from this book to Divine, she might not understand it that well, and also of how emotional it is. That's why I would recommend it for 10 or 11 and over.
Who's your favourite character and why?
This is actually a hard one because there are so many characters who have their own little different parts. It is Augie, Jack, and Summer. Jack and Summer are actually very important in this story. They're the people who are friends with Augie, who sit on their table and who help him. The reason why it's Augie is because he doesn't care how different he is. He still goes to school with a big smile on his face and still does his best and doesn't even care. And doesn't even think about the people staring at him. He's got used to it and he's fine with how he is. Also, I think Jack is cool because of his sense of humour, very funny, but sometimes he can be a bit rude, if I do say so myself, at times, but he tries his best, and he was actually picked by the leader of the middle school, basically middle school, year 7, year 8, year 9, all those kinds of things, to be a friend to Augie. But Summer, she just speaks to me in a way. The reason why is not that I don't like Augie more or I don't like Jack more, but Summer, she goes to Augie. The leader of the middle school didn't tell her, hey, go and be friends with Augie, make him feel welcome. She goes by herself and goes and makes him feel welcome. She doesn't get asked to. She just does it because she wants to. She did admit she felt sorry for him, but also she wanted to get to know him. She was really happy to be his friend. So Summer, to be honest, she was one of my favourites. Augie and Jack, they were all my favourite characters. Now your other question?
My other question is, how many stars would you give it?
I would give this book 1 billion stars. 1 billion. I've never said about 1 billion stars because this book has the power to move hearts and change minds. Guardian is on point on that. This book is amazing, beautiful. I loved it, literally. This book really can move you. If you think to yourself, have I been rude to someone? This book will show you that you shouldn't be rude to someone. You shouldn't judge a book by its cover. And when you can't blend in when you were born to stand out. So if you feel like, hey, I'm different to other people, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that you're not normal, because all of us are different. And we can all stand out in our different ways. So I love this book so much. Billions of stars. This is on my top 5 book list. This is on it.
Can I tell you something? You can give it infinity stars if you want.
I could. Infinity stars it is. So yes.
My other question is, what do you love about this book?
Wow, that's a really Divine. You're asking me hard questions every time. It's hard to say, to be honest. I actually don't know what's my favourite. What I love about this book, because to be honest, sorry, there is so many things I love about this book. The sense of humour, the motivation, things, the meanings behind the story, the moral of the story, the humour, the moral of the story, and the emotion. That is what I love about this book. Also, I wanted to say how this book impacted me. What I mean by impact is how it changed me, is that now I think, hey, I'm different to a lot of people, but that doesn't mean I'm weird, or I'm not normal, or I'm crazy. It just means I can't blend in when I'm born to stand out. And probably all of you have your own different things that you're born to stand out from. So, everyone, you can't blend in when you are born to stand out. That is my message going off today. Any more questions?
Yes, I have.
Oh my gosh, keep going.
What's the moral of this story?
Wow. Seriously?
Yes,
Seriously?
Yes.
The moral of this story, in my opinion, because this might not really be the moral. Wow. The moral of this story, I need to think really well. The moral of this story is how sorry, you can't blend in when you were born to stand out. Literally, the moral's on here, slapped on the book already. sorry. I was slapped on the book already. The moral of this story is, number 1, not judge a book by its cover, and number 2, if you can't blend in, you were born to stand out. You need to understand that you're different, and we're all different in our own different ways. If we don't have cranio-facial differences, or if we do have cranio-facial differences, or if you have other disabilities, or if you don't. It doesn't matter how normal you are. Nobody's normal, actually. How normal you are with nothing, and how not normal you are, because all of us have our own little tweaks of ourselves that we are amazing on and we're born to stand out on. So that's the moral of this story.
Who's the best character, and you can only pick one?
I can't. To be honest, I feel like Augie and Summer really spoke to me. Jack, yes, he's kind of my 3rd favourite character, in some ways because of his laugh, humour, but to be honest, Summer. Literally, Summer was amazing. She went to Augie, she showed him. She was really best friends with him. She chose. She didn't get forced to, but she chose to go and say, hey, I want to be friends with you, Augie. And that's what I love about this book. And I think that we should all carry that kind of mindset into us that, hey, we can be friends with anyone. You're different and you should not judge a book by its cover. But yes, to be honest, it's summer. Any more questions?
Well, I do have questions, but I'm going to tell them when we finish the video. So, no more.
Okay. So please
Like, share, and subscribe.
and hit the notification bell so you always know when there's a new video.
See.
Thank you for watching as well. Please, thank you for watching,
Yeah.
even though we've already said that. Thank you for watching so much, guys. We really appreciate it. Now, see you next time on the
Siblings World.
Bye!